A union strike is now in its fourth week, the longest in Illinois State University's history, with graduation weekend days away and no deal on the table. Meanwhile, across the region, two more storms rolled through central Illinois on Monday. Another community welcomed its first ever volunteer child advocates, and a rubber duck race is raising money for kids in Decatur this weekend. Welcome to Sunshine Strategies Radio, your family friendly source for news that matters here in central Illinois and beyond. I'm Jen McMillin. Grab a beverage, let's get into it. Before we get into our local news of the week, I have to talk about something first. Friends, I'm of two minds about the upcoming midterms. Locally, in small but real ways, I'm seeing citizens look up the political ladder, and when they don't like what they see, they're taking action. That gives me genuine hope. But y'all, did you catch Ken Martin's gatekeeping the post-election report from Kamala Harris's campaign? His Pod Save America interview was a masterclass in talking down to voters. Not just Democrats, every kind of voter. He kept insisting that asking for even a summary of their findings was a distraction. I'm going to call BS. Not showing us why the Democratic Party lost. That's the distraction. Sitting on that report hamstrings candidates trying to win against already long odds. It freezes the conversations we desperately need up and down the entire system. So, how do we push back against gatekeeping? For me, it starts with being genuinely skeptical of both parties and working locally. It's real hard to gatekeep and demean people when they're standing right in front of you. As a part of reconnecting with my Central Illinois community, I recently rejoined Rotary in Clinton. So last Tuesday, I went looking for a place to work in DeWitt County before our weekly meeting and ended up in DeWitt Cemetery near Clinton Lake. The ground's still pretty wet, so I needed high ground and some sun. And that's where I met the neighbors. First, Edward Day Sr., a veteran of the Revolutionary War, sitting right in the row across from me. Then I looked up who was actually right next to me, Judge William Lafferty and his wife Amanda. Born in 1806 in Ohio, Judge Lafferty served as DeWitt County judge through the 1830s and 40s. That position, both then and now, is about being a true community stakeholder. Judge Lafferty would have witnessed deaths, settled disputes, and helped dedicate new businesses. Our county judges were wired into what was actually happening to citizens and voters. And those same judges were held accountable by election every 4 years. So when I left Judge and Mrs. Lafferty and their contemporaries there in the cemetery, it felt exactly right that I'd get to sit next to a current DeWitt County judge at my Rotary meeting that afternoon. My new friend, still showing up, still accountable, still a part of the community. Not gatekeeping, not demeaning. Just sharing his catch-up and his conversation. Ken Martin should stop by my Rotary meeting sometime. He'd learn a lot. All right, and now it's time for our local countywide news. Starting in McLean County this week, the AFSCME Local 1110 strike at Illinois State University is now in its fourth week, the longest work stoppage in the university's history. And the situation has escalated on multiple fronts. About 350 building, dining, and grounds workers have been on the picket line since April 8th. Last week, a McLean County judge denied the union's request for a temporary restraining order that would have removed the outside contractors ISU brought in to cover essential services. Judge Rebecca Foley sided with the university, ruling the Illinois Employment of Strikebreakers Act does not apply to public universities. But the union isn't backing down. They delivered a petition signed by more than 6,000 people, mostly students and their parents, to ISU President Tarhul's office, Governor Pritzker weighed in publicly for the first time, saying ISU's management leadership should be at the bargaining table. That's what should happen. It needs to happen ASAP. The university filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit with a hearing set for May 29th. So here's the human side of this. These workers haven't had a pay raise in nearly 2 years. Many start at only $16.60 an hour. And the union revealed that ISU is paying outside contractors $38 to $175 per hour for the same work, far above what the striking employees are even asking for. ISU's spring commencement is May 8th and 9th, and thousands of families will arrive on campus. Move out day is on May 9th, and we'll be watching this closely to see what happens. Also in McLean County, the Red Carpet Corridor Festival is back this weekend, celebrating 100 years of Route 66 with events at stops across 15 different communities, several of them right in McLean County. If you're looking for something fun and historic to do, this is a great one. And a happy note for Decatur's neighbors to the north, the downtown Bloomington Farmers Market opens on Saturday. Local vendors, fresh goods, and a chance to reconnect with Central Illinois growers. Now, in my home county, here in Macon, we had on April 28th, the union members and community leaders gathered at the Workers' Memorial at the Macon County Courthouse lawn to mark Workers' Memorial Day. Bagpipes played as the Mid-Illinois Labor Council read the names of 646 Macon County workers killed on the job over the years. Illinois Comptroller Susana Mendoza was the guest speaker. 2 new names were etched into the monument this year, including IBEW 164 member Samuel Ward, an electrician killed at the Clinton Power Station last November. His name matters, and so does the reminder that job safety is still something we have to fight. And still here in Macon County on May 3rd, on Sunday, if you're looking for a family-friendly way to support a great cause this weekend, the Children's Museum of Illinois is hosting its annual Duck Derby on Sunday from noon till 5 p.m. Moving into news about DeWitt County, their animal control has been caring for livestock animals recently, and it's sparked a conversation about what county statutes actually allow in terms of housing and caring for animals in need. This is a topic worth watching as county leaders really work through what the right policy looks like. And in Logan County, the Community Action Partnership of Central Illinois, or CAPCIL, is celebrating 60 years of service this week with countywide open houses. If your family has ever benefited from community action programs, or if you would like to learn more about how to get involved, this is a great week to connect with them. And at Heartland Community College's Lincoln campus, they're offering a free Creative Vets art course this summer for veterans, caregivers, and military spouses, with all costs covered through a nonprofit partnership. If you or someone you love served and is looking for a meaningful creative outlet, look this one up. And the first annual Run for Honor, K and Run and Walk, has been announced to benefit the Land of Lincoln Honor Flight, a program that takes veterans to visit their memorials in Washington, D.C. at no cost. Keep an eye on the Lincoln Daily News for dates and registration. And then over in Christian County, we've got Heartland CASA swearing in its very first advocates. This is a milestone really worth celebrating. They swore in the county's first 8 volunteer child advocates at the courthouse this week. CASA volunteers represent the interests of children in foster care and the child welfare system, showing up in court, building relationships, and making sure a child's voice is heard. Starting from 0 to 8, advocates are not nothing. It's everything for these kids. If you'd like to learn more about how to become an advocate yourself, you can always visit maconcountycasa.org. That's the one here in Macon County, or just Google CASA for kids. And the Park District Board in Taylorville welcomed 2 new members, Luke Millin and Ryan Gatton, and a new recreation director, Evan Michael, at his April 27th meeting. They're also pursuing a United States Tennis Association grant that could bring up to $105,000 towards improvements to the local tennis courts, with plans for youth and adult programming to follow. The pool project remains on hold while they wait for permits from the Illinois Department of Public Health. And have you guys heard about the CE program, Creating Entrepreneurial Opportunities? Well, the students that are in that program in Christian County wrapped up a successful year of founding, pitching, and running their businesses. These are high schoolers building real skills, and congratulations to all of them. And across the region, we had another round of storms that hit central Illinois on Monday. Gusts over 50 miles per hour, hail, and heavy rain caused power outages across multiple counties, including nearly 500 customers in DeWitt and Piatt counties, over 1,500 in Logan County, and over 300 in Macon County. I was one of those. DeLand Weldon schools in Piatt County took damage and had to close on Tuesday. If you're still dealing with storm related damage or insurance questions, reach out to your county emergency management office. And as always, if you see a flooded road, please turn around, don't drown. And in Springfield, the Illinois legislative session is in its final stretch, and Medicaid funding is at the center of budget negotiations. Federal changes from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act could cost Illinois between 4 and 6 billion a year in Medicaid funding within the next few years. The Illinois Department of Healthcare and Family Services projects the state could lose as much as $51 billion in total federal Medicaid support over the next decade, with 300,000 to 500,000 residents potentially losing coverage. Governor Pritzker has ordered state agencies to find 4% in budget reserves. Rural hospitals and counties like ours, which rely on Medicaid more than the state average, are watching this very closely. This is not abstract. It's going to affect the clinics, the hospitals that our families are served by, and all of our neighbors. So that's going to wrap it up for Central Illinois news this week of April 28th. From striking workers to new child advocates, from rubber duck races to Route 66, there is a lot happening, and all of it matters to the people that call this region home. Strong communities don't grow on their own. They need people who pay attention, show up, and share what they know. And thank you for being one of those people. If this episode was useful to you, please share it with one neighbor this week. That's all we ask. And if you have a story, tip, a community event, or something happening in your county that we should know about, reach out to us. I'm Jen McMillin, and this has been Sunshine Strategies Radio. We'll see you next time.